Welcome back. Today I thought I would talk about dip pens, oblique pens, calligraphy, nibs, ink, paper, all kinds of stuff. So these are a few of my, well, these are all of my dip pens that I have. This one is a cheap speedball. This one I'm not really sure where I got it, but kind of a nice one, nice looking one. And these are two dip pens that came in a set with a bunch of different types of nibs for different kind of lettering. Usually in these pens, from what I've seen on YouTube, the Zebra G is pretty much the standard nib everybody uses. These are called Hunt Imperial 10. Let's see, 101. And these are Speedball 512 and 513 extra fine. So sometimes when the nibs are new, they have oils on them, and you have to clean them really well. Sometimes you have to put a lighter under them for a few seconds to burn off the oil. Clean them really well so the ink will, because if not, the ink will just kind of pool up on there like it's like rain on your car after it's been waxed. So in order for it to write well, some prep. The ink, I use Sumi Japanese ink. Works really well for calligraphy. You can get different colors. You can get white. Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white is really good. It does dry up, but you have to add water and stir it around. You want the consistency like whole milk, kind of. And I just put some of the Sumi ink in this little ink pot, and then I can dip from this. So let me get reset and we'll start. So there's different kind of paper you can use for this. This book has the lines on it for calligraphy, so you get the right slant. This is a little bit thinner paper. This is only 70 grams. The one that I prefer to use is this one. This one is 140 grams, so it's very thick. And then you can get the Rhodia. Again, you can get lined or you can get dotted. This paper is 80 gram. Have to be very careful with the ink pot. So I'll start from worst to best. So this little one is kind of the hardest to use. It's very scratchy. So there really aren't any rules when you're doing lettering or calligraphy or even your own cursive handwriting. I mean, they teach you a certain way in school, but when I was learning, in elementary school in the third grade, this is what they had us doing. So this is like the Palmer, I think they call it, handwriting. And a few of them, the A's, you can do your A's like that, but I prefer A like this, much better. I don't, for instance, I don't do my B's like that. I do my B's I do it like a regular print B. I just like it better. The I always thought this eye looked like the profile of a toilet. So I hate it. So I do my eyes. They're just kind of, I don't do the backward move. And then, don't get me started on Q's and Z's. So the Q here looks pretty normal, but sometimes it looks like a big 2. So I don't like that one. I just make a capital O and put a squiggly. And the Z, lowercase z, I will do that. But the uppercase Z, I just do it like that. I mean, there's no rules. I probably did it the way they taught you, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and maybe part of 6th grade. But I had a reading teacher in 6th grade and middle school that her handwriting was completely different than anything I had seen, and I really liked it. So I kind of adopted a lot of her alterations. So, but this pen is pretty scratchy. It grabs a lot. Not my favorite. I keep a little. Plastic shot glass with water to clean up. So again, the straight pens, this one has a G nib, Zebra G. So let's try it. Now these are holding the ink much better than they were when they're brand new and still have all the oils on them. So let's see, let's do the alphabet here. I mean, that's a great A. For your, what do they call them, ascenders, whatever. For the D, you can just do a straight down, or you can get a little fancy and do one of those. The G, I tend to do it like this. H, I, J. Okay. Sometimes if it, I tried to learn Spencerian a while ago, but their P's, they do the as in they're way up, and then they go like this. So they don't even close the loop on the P. So the Q, I just make another O with the squiggly. That's called railroading. When you don't have enough ink, but you can pick it back up. I make my V's very dramatic. W. X. Y. And Z. It's been a while since I've done this. That one's okay. The G's okay. It does tend to grab the paper when you're going up, but going down, it's fine. And this oblique pen, these really take some getting used to. There's an amazing YouTube channel. There's plenty of newer channels, but back 10 years ago when I started this hobby on YouTube, a channel called Open Ink Stand. It's at Open Ink Stand. And the woman's name is Schin Loong. And I mean, she's got videos on how to improve your handwriting. She writes letters. She does addressing envelopes. Uh, she does the Spencerian stuff. She does all kinds of stuff. And to me, she is what my handwriting aspires to be. She makes it just look effortless. I wish it were that easy. But check her out. She sells stickers, and I got a huge return address rubber stamp that, she wrote my name and my address. It's pretty large, so if you're going to use it on the envelope, you have to usually put it on the back of an envelope. But it's really nice. So shout out to her. All right. So this one does pretty good, but this one I think is my favorite. This paper's really thick. But I thought writing the names of the Greek gods would be appropriate to make them fancy and flourish. I'm not good at flourishing. And it's even harder when you have this camera and light between you and the paper. But let's see what we can do. Put the mic closer to the paper, maybe you can hear the scratchy. axis. I've never heard of some of these names. H-E-P-H. So, like I said, just play around with it. You don't want, there's no rules. Do it how you want to do it. Maybe for me, I just like to be able to write on cards. Sometimes I'll address the envelopes fancy, but you know, I just want to send somebody a happy birthday. Or, Merry Christmas. Only other thing I did want to do was let's put this cap back on before we have an accident. And grab some black paper. With my white ink. See, a lot of times what I do is I'll buy my cards, but I won't use their envelopes. So I'll buy black envelopes or green envelopes or red envelopes from Amazon, and then it's just really looks really dramatic to write on them with white ink. So I not screw this up. just think white ink looks so great on dark color paper. A little closer. You can usually fix your mistakes. But the end, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Next time I'm gonna be using a feather quill pen to do some writing. So until next time, good night.